I'm just going to give a little bit of instruction on what it means to bring a feeling of atmosphere to a piece of art. And so in this one, you would say that it's nighttime. It's very dark, and you can kind of see how there's blue, a lot of blue in the atmosphere. And then you'll notice with this new piece that I'm showing you that it's brighter. I've put a few filters over it to kind of make it feel more like turnip is just in the shade. So it's less of like a nighttime feel, and it's feeling a little bit more warm, possibly more like the daytime. Now here I'm showing you how the range of color in this piece is very limited. It goes from like almost going into that like violet-y blue to turning into almost, it's kind of cusping on that green and yellow, which creates the feeling that it's nighttime. A lot of artists do this to create a feeling inside of a piece. It's almost like picking the key of a song you are making. And like in the process of picking a key for a song, you are creating a feeling. Okay, so this is my favorite part. Now I'm going to show you what I mean whenever I say that there is a range of color and it kind of relates to each other. All the colors will end up coinciding with each other in some sort of way. They have a relationship, and this is the entire point of color theory in the first place, is that all colors affect each other. So right now, I'm setting a basis for a color wheel. It's very simple. I'm just showing you the regular colors in what you would call a daytime lighting. This is what these colors would look like in the day. And now I'm going to go through the process of setting a base color. The base color, also called underpainting, if you are someone who does traditional medias, it sets the tone for a piece. It tells the person who is viewing the piece so much information, even though they won't even see it whenever the piece is done. This color will kind of set the mood. And so I went with a blue, kind of symbolizing darkness like I was showing with the previous drawing. And now I'm showing you the easiest way of going about setting a tone, which is through a multiply layer. Multiply layers are super easy, fun tools, but they can end up making a piece feel a little muddy. Multiply layers are great. I love them. I use them a lot. But there's also a more rewarding and nicer way to go about this, but it takes a lot of understanding with color theory. The second way I'm showing you is a way of actually applying color theory. So what I am doing is I'm setting down the base layer, the underpainting, the color that you will base all your other colors upon. And then I am going around and offsetting the color. So the red turns into more of like a pinkish, like a red-violet type of color. You'll notice that everything gets offsetted more towards blue because that is what the underpainting is. Since the underpainting is a dark blue, all of the colors will kind of be desaturated, closer to the color blue, and yellows kind of get thrown out the window. Yellow is so far from blue that it ends up looking out of place in the color wheel. You have to really tone down the yellow for it to even look like it's supposed to be there, which is honestly what's most fascinating to me about this. And you'll notice as I'm putting these colors in, it's starting to look richer. It's starting to feel like it belongs in the piece. It has a place. It's like it's got its own little group. Because the underpainting is unifying all of the colors, they actually begin to feel like they match each other, which is why I actually prefer this method over the easier multiply layer. So, like, as just a closing bit, I wanted to show myself practicing what I'm preaching. These are two pieces that I have added an underpainting and then proceeded to pick my own colors based on the underpainting color, resulting in a color palette that is much more restricted, but you can still tell that these are the characters' colors, like they're just in a different lighting. So, this is just me showing how to use underpainting in a way where you can create a more rich color palette, one that has more depth to it, rather than relying on the multiply layers.